We are staying at Camping Les Fontaines and I'm going to show you around the campsite, our pre-erected tent that we'll be staying in, and then the beautiful French town of Annecy.
If you're looking for a campsite near Lake Annecy with great views and family-friendly pools, then here's everything you need to know about our stay at Camping Les Fontaines. Welcome to Family Camping Europe. We're Mike and Bree, and between us we've explored nearly 100 campsites across Europe. Here we share our hints, tips and honest campsite and accommodation reviews. So if you're like us and enjoy exploring Europe via tent, van or mobile home, hit the subscribe button to follow our journey to campsite number 100. Let's start with what we always care about the most, the swimming pools. There are 2 pool areas at Les Fontaines, and they were easily the highlight of our stay. They're not massive like other Yelloh villages we've visited before, but for the size of the site, they're great. The water park pool is where the action's at. This is at the front of the site and has multiple water slides. Our 2-year-old loved the space pool, although she was definitely too young to be going on it, but I wasn't a fan of the teenagers inside playing football in there. There was a lack of lifeguards at this time of year, which meant nobody enforced swimwear rules, but it also meant that teenagers were a little rowdy. So to avoid any issues on the slides, we tended to stick to the toddler paddling pool and splash area, or the swimming and jumping pool in the middle. The other pool is at the centre of the campsite. This area felt much calmer. It was filled with families and older couples, and the vibe was lovely and chill. The pool is heated and there's a tiny little toddler slide, and the views, much like the other pools, are absolutely stunning. The retractable roof made it ideal for cooler days, and being right next to the bar meant easy access to post-swim drinks, which leads us nicely into the food and drink facilities. The restaurant is gorgeous with its alpine styling and skis on the wall, and although we didn't use it, we often saw young families dining with high chairs available. Instead, we tended to stick to the bar and snack options. The bar terrace overlooks the pool and has a very relaxed atmosphere. There are chairs made into swings and covered and uncovered seating areas. We stopped by here often for ice cream and beers, although Mike's not a huge fan of the Jupiler which was on tap, but they did have other drinks and I enjoyed a few rosés. It was calm, not rowdy, and a nice afternoon spot. We tried the snack bar on our last night as we just couldn't be bothered to cook again, and it was okay, standard fast food really. The campsite shop had a few essentials food-wise, and you could pre-order bread the day before, but really you needed to visit a big shop to get everything you needed. There's a small Carrefour around 5-minute drive away and larger shops further afield. We stayed with Eurocamp in a gorgeous eco-lodge tent. It's a bit like a safari tent, but a tiny bit smaller. It had everything we needed, and I loved the wooden outdoor furniture. The beds were comfortable, the tent was clean, and we had a fully equipped fridge freezer. The Eurocamp team were a Dutch couple who spoke incredible English and have been on the site for 6 years, so they know everything if you have any questions. If you book with Eurocamp, it will be them that you check in with, not the main reception, and the Eurocamp hut is just past the main barrier. Opposite the Eurocamp reception is where we found the bouncy castle and small play area. Our daughter loved the bouncy castle, but we did find the play area a little bit tired. It looked like it had some potential, but the rope circuit, big old slide and gym equipment seemed quite run down and in need of maintenance. We did, however, find another small play area near the pool and bar. Just a simple climbing frame and slides, but the kids enjoyed it even during the rain. There's also a multi-sports court for older children that looked fairly new, and I can imagine it getting good use in the peak season. I didn't see any arcade or entertainment during our stay, but there was an events hall, and apparently in summer they do evening shows, discos, kids clubs, but in mid-June there was nothing. We didn't really mind it too much and we were happy sitting on our deck with wine, but a 7 p.m. quiz or a bit of chilled out music would have added a little bit of atmosphere. As we were staying in a tent, we used the communal shower blocks and they were spotless. Cleaning staff were around a lot and we loved that there was a family shower cubicle with little and large showers. Be warned though, the floors can get slippy when wet, and take your own toilet roll as the one provided was a little bit like tracing paper. The washing up sinks were plentiful and there was even a free to use dishwasher, although we weren't actually sure how it worked, so we didn't use it. Now let's be honest, you're probably staying here to see Annecy, not necessarily the campsite facilities. The location here is incredible. It's about 2 kilometres from the southern tip of Lake Annecy, and the campsite is perfectly placed for exploring both the lake and the town. Of course, we did both. The town was absolutely stunning, but you did need to get there early. We got there at 8 a.m. on a Sunday and explored peacefully, but by around 10:30 it was heaving. The car park was full and the roads were busy. Definitely explore Annecy in the morning. In summer, you'll find lake taxis to get you to and from the southern tip of the lake to the north tip of the lake into the town, so you don't actually have to drive it if you don't want to. Dusad Plage is the nearest lake beach to the campsite with a grassy park, sandy shore and loads of space for the children to paddle and swim. You can even watch paragliders landing overhead, which was amazing. We honestly had such a fantastic weekend exploring Annecy and staying at Les Fontaines, but I did feel like something was missing. The location is absolutely flawless, the scenery is magical, and our accommodation was better than I expected, but perhaps I just expected a little more atmosphere out of season. It's not that the site was bad, not at all. It just didn't quite match the hype that I expected, so maybe we should have managed our expectations better. It's more of a peaceful base than a buzzing resort, and that's totally okay if that's what you're expecting. And that's not to say we wouldn't go back, because we definitely would. It's a great base for a short stay to explore Annecy and the Alps, and if you want to bring a bike or join the Bois Vert, it's fantastic. So, if you're after views, great pools, quiet family time, then this is a solid pick. For what we paid, which was just over £75 for 2 nights, it was a fabulous value weekend. I've dropped all the information in the description about how to book, which operator we used, and our top tips, so let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you at the next campsite.